talk a little bit about that, the setting and kind of through the character Voltaire. So Voltaire shows up in your novel, and he actually shows up in another of our novels that we published
Oh, is that
this
right?
fall. A character in Blood Brothers in Lewisburg is reading him,
Okay.
and he's getting kind of berated for reading him because, you know, Voltaire is, I guess, a controversial figure. Can you talk about
Sure.
him as a character and why you put him in?
One of the themes of this book, and one of the themes of Thomas Pynchon's real life, is he's drawn to Enlightenment ideas, Age of Reason, as opposed to this traditional church approach. And so some of the dialogue and some of the musings in this book deal with those kinds of issues. Voltaire I inserted, I could have picked other people, but instead I picked Voltaire because he's sort of an icon or a symbol for the Age of Reason. And so having him as a character allowed me to sort of reference all that kind of thought. He does get involved in the love life of Thomas in that he woos away one of Thomas's love interests, and but he also stands as someone who's successful, and part of Thomas's theme is he's aspiring constantly to be more successful than he is, and so he's jealous, envious of Voltaire's success. So it's part of the dynamic, if you like, whenever Thomas meets Voltaire, that here's this guy who has the success he'd like to have. Right from many years ago when I first had the idea for this book, it always began when he was 12 years old, and it always began in the town he lived in Normandy. And it was either he was in this cold room at the top of the house and his mother has come to him as he's just wakened from a terrible dream, or it begins in the dream itself. And it's in the dream itself is where it starts, the final book. So that always seemed to strike me as the essence of the world that this guy is living in. It's cold, it's dark, it's nighttime, there's a fragility to the society they live in and a vulnerability. And he's, in his own life, trying to find his way in this sometimes risky world. And so it just was important, I thought, and true to the 18th century. There's no social safety net for anybody in this society, and it was just, that was where I thought it was appropriate to begin this story. He's beginning to be drawn to females in a serious way. He's beginning to have ambitions to be more than he is, and adolescence is the time period in everybody's life where you begin to try and find yourself, and so that's how the book opens. He's beginning to start to try and find himself, and then the rest of the book is this journey to as he gradually sort of creates himself. Where it ends, well, throughout the book there's always the potential of being attacked at night, and a lot of the book happens at night. And he does end up being attacked as the book is just about to end. And he comes back to his family situation. He has a wife, but he also has someone who's hoping to be a lover of his living in the same household. And so he's coming back and he's reconciling himself to the situation he's in, but it also leaves, I hope, the thought ahead as to where do I go from here? And the where do I go from here is what will unfold in the subsequent books. I'm seeing this as probably a 4-book story. It was too big for one book, but I think that's where I'm going to be able to frame this entire story, is over the 4 books.
So you haven't kind of planned out the books ahead of time, kind of written an outline, or how does...
Well, I have the second book completed, at least as a first draft, and I've started the third, and I don't have it written down on paper, the outline, but I know where I'm going. I've known where I'm going right from the start. I didn't know how many books it was going to be, but I did know what the arc of the story was, and he is going to come to North America, and as the historical figure did. And I'd like to tell you it's going to be a happy ending. Everybody lives happily ever after, but that's not really the way it's going to end up.